Yes, this is Open Talk. Can you imagine? It is another Wednesday night when we come into your home. You welcome us to your home, and we come to you in the name of the Lord with Open Talk, where you talk or I talk or we hear one another and we move on. Remember, the aim of Open Talk is to bring information, to bring in correction, to bring in rebuke, to bring in reproof, to bring in correct information or whatever, that which you capture. But remember, our base is the Word of God. We are founded and based on the Word of God. So when we come to your house, remember that is our foundation. And we have endeavored every night to bring you a guest, to come to you with a guest who is going to speak to us, and as we speak to one another, you also capture what God is saying to you. Again, in Open Talk, we can discuss any topic. We can just discuss that topic, provided we know it's going to be of benefit to those who are out there, at home, in families, with children, in marriage, in whatever area, in business. It's going to be helpful. So I pray that tonight you open up your heart as you welcome us to your home, so that we can be able to bring you that which God has prepared for you. Again, tonight we have a very, very special guest. A very, very special guest. Our special guest tonight is a couple. Again, I am one man who believes in the family. I believe in the family 100%. And there is no devil that is going to destroy the family. You know, the family is God's unit of multiplication. That's why there is so much attack on the family. All these other things you are hearing, they are trying to attack the family, but their family will remain intact. And the family is not James and John. The family is Jane and Jimmy. Okay, let me not get into that, but let's get into Open Talk tonight. And our guest tonight is Bishop. I'm repeating that you may hear. Bishop Mohammed. Bishop Mohammed Kamwaro is our guest tonight with his wife Grace Mohammed. And I just want you to say jambo to the people.
Jambo.
Bishop.
Jambo. I'm Mohammed Kamwaro from Deliverance Church Kitengela. And I bless the Lord that God has given us an opportunity to serve God in that place.
Thank you so very much. Yes, Grace Mohammed.
Yes.
Bring greetings.
Amen. I want to greet each and every one of you as we come straight to your home. May the Lord bless you and keep tuned to this program. Thank
you so very much. Now, Bishop Mohammed and Grace are in Kitengela. They pastor Deliverance Church Kitengela. They are some regional overseers there. That very soon that it is becoming a region of its own. But that's where they are for now, and they pastor a very, very thriving church. Very, very thriving church, and they've been able to establish many churches. And I just want I cannot give the whole introduction. Why don't you introduce yourself, Bwana? First of all, before you introduce yourself, Soba Oleng. Habari no? Ashi Oleng. Mrs. Yeso.
Amen.
Ashi Oleng. Now at least you know we can sengenya you. We can sit here and sengenya you. And but I want Bishop Mohammed to just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is, as if you heard, Mohammed. Come from Deliverance Church Kitengela. We're in Kajiado. God has planted there with a purpose, and we are seeing God reaching the community. We are reaching many people in Kajiado, and we thank God that the community are responding. And we bless the Lord.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, Grace. Introduce yourself. Tell us something about yourself. There's somebody there who doesn't know you.
Amen. My name is Bishop Grace Mohammed from Deliverance Church Kitengela. And I just bless the name of the Lord for what God is doing in Kitengela. God planted us in Kitengela, and I can tell you there are great things that are happening in Kitengela. We are seeing souls coming to Christ, lives being changed, marriages being changed, and we are so glad to see that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so very much. Yes, Bishop Kamwaro.
Yes.
Tell me, where were you born?
I was born in Narok, and in a family, our family was very diverse because we were Christian and Muslims. In our family, we have our grandfather had married, was recruited. The first people who came to Narok as missionaries were Muslim, not Christians. And later on, the missionaries from Siabei, the missionaries from a place we call Siabei, Narok, actually from Limuru, Kijabe. Now, they came to Narok later. So the first people who received the missionaries became Muslims.
Oh, we will come to that.
Yes.
Because I really want to understand understand that.
For Bada was born in Narok, and God transferred me from Narok to Eldoret. That's where I stayed for many years.
Okay. And Grace, where were you born?
I was born in Nairobi. Then my parents moved when we were young to Kitale in a place called Moy's Bridge.
Oh, Moy's Bridge.
Yes.
So you were born in Narok, then you moved to Eldoret.
Yes.
And you were born in Nairobi, then you moved to Moy's Bridge.
Yes.
That's quite something. So, are you a Christian? Your parents Christians?
Yeah, my parents are Christian. They are Catholics.
Oh, they are Catholics.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Yes. And you say where you were born, there were some who were Catholics and others who were Christians.
No, Christians and Muslims.
Oh, Christians and Muslims.
Yes.
So you happen to be in the Muslim wing.
Yes, I was in Muslim wing.
You were born in the Muslim wing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
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 So how many are you? Or in your family, or let's come to your parents.
Yes.
Were your parents polygamists?
Polygamists, yes. My grandfather had 7 wives.
Say it again.
My grandfather had 7 wives.
1, 2,
yes.
3,
yes.
4, 5, 6, 7 wives.
Yes.
Wow.
So we are quite a big family.
It's a whole tribe.
It's a whole tribe. Actually, the whole of Naivasha, we call it an assembly, is just one family. A whole location, one family.
Wow.
So we shift. Some shifted to Narok and others are on Naivasha side. So those we went to, now we are from Narok, and there are those who are from an assembly like that, the Naivasha side. Yes.
Wow.
So in the family, we have both Islam and Christians, and we live together because now some of them, of course, were married as their mothers. Yes.
So how did you get this name, Muhammad?
Muhammad.
When you were you given when you were born?
Yes, when I was born, I was given another name, but when immediately I got into Islam, that is the name they gave. They said no, throw away Christian names. Now you are Muhammad. In the genealogy of the priest Muhammad. Yes.
Now you are growing up as a Muslim.
Yes.
You went to school in Narok?
Yes, I went to school in Narok primary. Secondary, I was in Nakuru, Lake Nakuru High School.
Oh, you were in Nakuru?
Yes, Lake Nakuru. I finished. I went to Egerton University. I did agricultural economics. Then I finished in 91. And then I was posted to Eldoret.
To Eldoret?
Wasingishu district. So I worked there for more than 10 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was a Muslim by then. I was not a Christian.
Okay. So when and how did you get born again?
Actually, the salvation came in when I was taking her to be converted from Christian to Islam. So when we agreed, we got the name, we did the preliminaries, got the name for her, Fatuma. And then
that's a good one. I've never known that.
When we were coming for her to be converted.
To be Muslim.
Yes. Now there was an intervention because that very evening on Friday, I had a voice when we were in the mosque, and the voice said, "Come out and serve me." I didn't know what the voice was because I'm not familiar with that. So I asked, the sheikh was there, "What is this voice?" They said, "No, it's demons." They prayed for me. It turned the whole prayer and they interceded. But when I went home, the voice still came. So it became very strong, and the voice is like it is a thunder that destroys inside of you. It's like a bang on the inside. So we talked with her, and I said, we need to look for somebody to help us. And then I didn't have a Christian friend. So we had a neighbor who was an SDA. He's the one I called. He came in the evening, we took supper, and then he started telling us about Jesus and salvation. But I used to participate in the groups of Islam, those people who used to go to the gathering, challenge Christians on the Bible. We challenge them on the Bible, and again we use the Quran. So I was very argumentative. I argued for almost the whole night until 3 in the morning.
Wow.
And I had a voice within inside, you must be born again. So I said, well, I called her. She was so sleepy. I said, wake up, we must get born again. It was 3. So we were prayed for. But now the only mistake, this guy in the SDA do not get say born again, wanasema kuongoka. Wao wanaongoka. So I didn't know what was that. But anyhow, we agreed. And therefore, because he's the only person I knew as a Christian. So we went on, we got born again. We are taken to classes for baptism. After 6 months, we were baptized in Kitale River, Zoya River, when it was flooded. Very dirty water. It was flooded, and we went in for baptism. And after baptism, I saw a figure, and he said, well done. Then it really touched me because I didn't know this strange. So from there, we went into teaching because I used to, now that I had little knowledge, I could learn. I started teaching the classes, the SDA classes. I met a friend of mine whom we were working together in the same company. And he said, I want to introduce you to a real church. And then he took me to Deliverance Church after some times. And I met that week, Bishop George had a revival, a very powerful revival in Eldred. We went into the revival, and when they asked for people to be born again, we went in front. We were filled by the Holy Spirit, slain to the ground. We started talking in tongues. Then that is the transformation that we received from Deliverance Church. Then since then, we were assigned to a cell group. We used to call it Sukunanga Cell Group. For 3 years, we used to drive 60 kilometers every Thursday to the cell group, and we have never failed. Wow. It was very far. From Cherengani to Eldred, 60 kilometers, we used to drive to the cell group until we grew. And then Bishop George said, why don't you start a cell in your place so that you don't come 60 kilometers every time? We started. Eventually, we grew. Now we were taught. We got matured. And then a pastor friend of ours from KAG, talked to us about marriage. He said, your marriage is not marriage until you are married legally. And then now you are given a certificate. So he took us through the marriage classes. KAG, he organized our marriage. We married in KAG, and then we got a certificate. And then from there, now things rolled, and we started a committee to buy Deliverance Church land in Mosbridge, which you came in, and with Bishop Masinda was a guest of honor, and we bought land, and that's how we started the church. The pastor was there. I was assisting the pastor. Pastor left, and I took over. We built the church, did everything with Peterson. Peterson is the guy who built churches, and we started the Deliverance Church. I went to Bible school. After 3
maybe let's hold it there a little bit,
yes,
so that I can also hear from Grace.
Yes.
So tell me, Grace, when you were born as Grace, and you grew up as Grace.
Yes.
And so you met this gentleman. Where did you meet him? Maybe in the bar, maybe in the market, maybe through whatever it was. Where did you meet him?
I said I was born in Nairobi. Then I was brought up in Kitale. Our town, a little bit town, was called Mosbridge, but our village was called Karara. So that's where I've lived for quite some time before we moved out of that area when we came to these sides of Nairobi. So the road where we were using was a major road to him where he goes home. and also the same road that I used to go home. So one day when I was coming, I think maybe from town, so because that road had no transport, so you just get a lift and you are taken where you are. So when he was driving, I just said, hi, nipatie lift mpaka hapo karibu kwetu. So he said, yeah, just pass at your place. So he picked me and he dropped me at my place. But he marked the place where he dropped me and said, mwana msichana hapa na nimemdrop, nikipata time nitapitia hapo siku ingine, nitakuja kumjua. That's how we met. Then from a lift? Yes. Then now, that time, one day he just came with a friend of his and they called me, talked to me, and the relationship grew up from that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then you got married,
yes.
You became his wife,
yes.
And all that time you knew he was a Muslim?
Yeah.
Okay. At what point did you think or decide to be Islamishward? Or was it his decision?
It was his decision because me, when I was school, I joined the CU, and I grew up in that life of Christianity. So when we met, relationships sometimes can turn things around in your life. We became great friends. Then he told me his faith, but I always used to tell him one thing that I know, that me about Islam, I think about it. Because, the religion that I've grown up is Catholic. So, you have to, those beads, the Salam Maria, those kinds of things, the Rosary. So when I pray the Rosary, and sometimes he just look at me, and I'll always tell him, one day, I think God will intervene in our lives, and that something will have to change in our lives. Because when I used to look at, people who come for CU, the way they preach, and I will have that desire. One day, my husband will be a pastor. And that was the desire of my heart. Even I remember one time when I was growing up, I used to tell my mother, I'll serve God at a certain point in my life. So when I found myself in the hand of a Muslim, and it's like, you have to follow now your husband. So when he told me, let's go, you cannot argue about anything, you are married. And I just say yes. But inside, there's something that used to speak to me about that desire to be able to serve God together with him. And I can say that was the most thing that brought a lot of, things turning around for that direction.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now on this particular day, Saturday, it was a Friday. Friday.
Yes.
On Saturday, you are going to be Islamishward.
On Friday.
On Friday.
Oh, you are going to be Islamishward on Friday
evening.
Friday evening.
Yes.
And when did you meet this Adventist?
Now, after the encounter.
After the encounter with them in the mosque. Now
after being Islamishward?
No. After we encountered.
I was not.
She was not Islamishward. I was to take her, but I encountered God intervened in between when we were praying. So now, and the bang was, come out and serve me. So I didn't know. So that I called this man in on a weekend to explain what is it about Christianity and about serving God.
So when you had that voice, did you tell her you had had a voice?
Yes. Yeah.
We talked over it. We talked over it.
And we even, she taught me to pray. She was using the rosary. But again, when the voice comes, it's like a torment. Then I said, we've got to look for somebody. Your Catholic style does not work. So let's look for somebody to help. So this now SDA Adventist guy came in, and now the journey started.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you went together to this Adventist,
yes.
And he took you through the scriptures.
Yes. Actually, we called him to our house.
Oh, okay.
He came to our house. He was an elder in the Adventists. Yes, a teacher elder.
Are you still in touch with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still in touch. But of course, he's now elderly.
Yeah.
But he knew that we changed. We left SDA to Deliverance Church. Yes.
You were delivered.
But we were delivered. We were delivered. We were delivered. Yes.
Okay. Now you have gone. You are born again.
Yes, we are born.
You have gone to Deliverance Church, Eldoret.
Yes.
You have been prayed for. You have gone through the revival.
Yes.
Did you ever think of changing your name?
No. I tried. Yes, of course. Yeah. I thought of changing my name, and actually, people told me change your name but inside of me, I feel that no, my name can be a tool for evangelism to where I came from. And I've interacted much with my brothers because of many issues, and I've seen the fruit. Yeah, I've seen the fruit.
And you have not had anybody come and tell you from the family now you need to change your name?
No. My family, okay, they had issues. Why did you change now and this? But they understood. They understood, and we didn't have much problem. They agreed with me, because when God calls you, he has a reason. And you cannot argue.
Okay.
Yes.
So now you have attended the revival, and you have started a church in
Moisbridge.
In Moisbridge.
Yes.
And the pastor has left.
Yes, the pastor left. We left us with the church. We grew the church. We got land. We built. We did all that we could do. We raised leaders. And
so when the pastor left, he left you in charge?
Yeah, he left me in charge. So we stayed there for about another 2 years. Now Bishop Job said you cannot run a church without a Bible school. So you need to go to school. So we left the church, went to school. He brought in...
Where did you go to school?
Eldoret Bible College. Eldoret Bible College. Yes. We went there for 3 years. And he brought in another a pastor to take care when we were in school. Pastor Reverend Ogola, who is now the current pastor in the church. Because when we came back, it was difficult for us again to come back to that place because it's already established. So he said to us, why don't you pray that God will give you another place? He was suggesting Mount Elgon. I said, no, I have no calling for Mount Elgon. I decided to come this way. So we came this way. I went to another friend of mine in Kawangware. I stayed there for 3 months. We were preaching here and there. And I got a job because I was from Egerton University. I got a job with the Rose Flower Farm. We call it Stony Avi. Now it's Premarosa along Machakos Road. Yeah. I got a job there as a manager in technical manager in charge of spray and disease control. I got a job. I worked there for 2 years, 2000 up to 2000. That is 98, 99, 2000. I left. God called us now to start a church in Kitengela. And it came about, we went to eat meat. We just went with friends just to have nyama choma in Kitengela. Kitengela is not for nyama choma. So we went to have nyama choma. And I was going to the toilet. I again had a voice, start a church here. Then I came to tell her, that same person disturbing us, now where do we start from? I was comfortable to start a church. Then it kept coming in. Then we decided, let's go in Kitengela and find a hall. We got a hall. We paid a hall for 1 year. We don't know what to do because we just paid the hall. We didn't know. I went to Bishop Masinde. I said, Bishop, I'm hearing this voice. What do I do?
So when you came from Eldoret,
yes.
Where were you going to? Were you going to church?
I was going to Deliverance Church at River, which was, by then it was in Portland Club. It was in the hall every Sunday. But now they were given a notice to shift the church to maybe to somewhere else. So when I went to Bishop Masinde, said the first thing was problem in that at River. Can you shift? Also, it was new. The pastor was there left. And because the church was there, we were only gathering on Sunday. There were no weekly. So that the thing was, so he came in and they moved the church from there to Earth River, look for land, because you're in Earth River, Kokonyo is not in Earth River, get land, and then once you get land, we shift the church, then I'll plant you in Kitengela. We did that. Actually, within 6 months, we shifted the church, we got land just at the road, built the structure with a few people that were there, and we started off. And the church just grew, became a big church in Earth River. Yeah.
And at that time, you still have a hall in Kitengela?
Yes, still we are paying a hall. We paid a hall for almost 1 year, 2 months. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
So what were you thinking all this time? There is money going there, there is nothing, you are going to... Were you staying in the river or in Kitengela?
We were staying in the river. We were staying in the
So
river.
what I decided when the hall was there, so I could see we are paying money, but it's not been productive. So I decided just to put something like an interdenominational lunch hours. So me, I started just to go there, put the lunch hours. Sometimes I'll put an evening meeting. And I just kept on every day going for lunch hours, preaching there. And I remember the first time because when I told him, I have to do something with this hall. So he bought me some few chairs, then a little bit of some few instruments, and he taught me how to connect them. So every day, I just go there, connect the instruments, and I'll just start to preach. There was nobody in the building. So I'll just enter there, prepare everything, start to sing, and I'll just preach to the seats, declare salvation to them, and I just move on. So I just could move on, preaching. Nobody comes in. But I remember one time because we had already gone to Bible college, and the Bible college, we were going for 3 weeks, then we closed for 3 months. 3 months you have assignment, there are things that you are doing. So I just closed down the hall, and I just went to college. When I came back, everybody would be asking me, how did you just decide to go without leaving us with our pastor? Now I could ask them, okay, I've never seen you guys coming to church. So they told, we are your members. Every time when you put all the instruments, we just hear you, we listen to you. Some of us, you have gotten saved through your ministry here. When you preach, you finish, you call for altar call. We have received Jesus through your preaching because I open all the windows. I've put the on speaker just facing where people are. And that's how I used just to go and keep myself ministering to the people. So when people told me, that's the time I realized I've been touching lives of people. And I could tell them, okay, you just come in and just we have time. And they told us, no, we are Mama doing our own things here in the road, and you just preach. And I kept on preaching. And I remember one time, I could preach. When I finished, somebody would open the door and put 50 shillings at the seat every day. And I could wonder, siaingie tu akuwe member wa kanisa. And that's how I pushed on until now when Bishop Masinde decided this is the right time now to open the church. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's quite a big step of faith. Preaching to so when this corona thing came, you didn't have any problem preaching to empty chairs.
I've been used for it.
You know, a lot of people don't know how difficult it is to preach to empty hall or empty seats. But you seem to have gone through it. You were prepared before it ever came. Okay, so Bishop Masinde has come.
Yes.
And now you are starting a church. Yes. What did you have crusades? Did you have open air meetings, or did you have people from Umoja come?
No, we had a crusade. We had a very powerful crusade, and it really touched many people. He preached on a Saturday and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we opened the church where we were now allowed on the 1st of February 2003 is when we opened the first Sunday. We held a meeting in our church, and then from there we started growing. People came. Even the one that you've been preaching to, and the first people that came to church today, they are pastors in our church. Yeah, we are. Their children are now grown, and we started Sunday school. The program started, and we went on. We were in a hall, and where you come, for you to come to the hall, you must go through a bar. It barred many people that had no faith, but God said, keep on. So we preached. We told them, those people in the bar, we must get friendly to them and bring them to Christ. So they used to pass through the bar, come to the church. Pass through the bar, and we almost lost 2 couples because when they passed through the bar, the desire to take. So when we had evening prayers, after prayers, they would hide behind, go back and start drinking. So one day, one of our members discovered them. And he said, no, you should leave this thing. And they were in between, but eventually God helped us and they came out of it.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was tempting for those who used
it was quite a temptation.
Yes.
Okay. Let's hold it there.
Yes.
Let's come back to the family.
Yes.
Do you have children?
Yeah, we have children.
Uh-huh.
We have 3 sons. 2 sons we are born them. The third one we adopted from one of our sisters.
Okay, you have 2 and adopted.
Yes.
Yes. All boys.
All boys.
You didn't want to anything to do, or when the boys were finished, all of them got finished.
Yes.
Okay, and what are their names? Do you have any called Mohammed or Abdu or
Yes.
Ishmael?
Yes, one is Hassan.
Hassan.
Yes.
Aha.
And the other one is John. We decided, no, let's give this one John Loserian. So it's John Loserian, and then we have Dalton.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So how does Hassan feel walking with John?
They don't feel anything about it.
Because in the family we had no quarrels. Whether you are Mohammed, you are Asha, you are Ismail, we had no problem even back at home. Because when they go back at home, they find that this one is a Muslim, this one is a Christian, and there's no quarrel, there's no competition. So they learned.
So a name is just a name.
Yeah. Them, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wow. So, and when they go to school and they have to indicate their religion, do they have any problems with that?
No, they have no problem. Yes.
They indicate they are Christians.
Yes.
And the teachers will not have a problem.
No.
Because they were born Christian. So when somebody tried to ask about their name, that's my name. That's the name I was given when I was born.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I love introducing Bishop Mohammed. I just love it. I just love it. It's very sweet to the ears.
Yes.
Bishop Mohammed.
Yes.
And it's very, very encouraging. Okay, now let's get back to the church and the ministry.
Yes.
So Bishop Masindi has come, done a crusade,
yes.
And you have started the church,
yes.
In that same hall.
Yes.
How long did you stay in the hall? If you can remember.
We were there for quite a while, because when we started the church, those people who are outside, most of them came to church. Then the church grew in a very short time. The church grew up until the hall was not able to hold us. So we trusted God to get a place where we'll be able to move. So I think we stayed there for 2 years or something.
Well, 3 months we were in the hall after the launch, and then after 1 year we went out. We got along Prison Road. We got a quarter acre. We built the church. That is now where we settled for 4 years.